Sarah Jo here, and in this tutorial I'm showing you another way to make adjustable straps. I have another tutorial linked below, but this method is slightly different. This method teaches you how to turn bias binding into a continuous strap. Let's get started. To begin, make sure your binding is already folded and pressed. I have another video linked below that shows you how to do this. In this example though, I'm using a 1/4 inch binding. With the back of the garment facing up, unfold the binding. Start by pinning the right side of the binding to the wrong side of the underarm so the raw edges align. Leave 1 inch of the binding hanging over the edge of the back neckline point. Continue to pin the binding along the underarm. Sew along the folded edge of the binding, closest to the underarm. You can see that fold a little better here. Continue sewing until you reach the front point of the tank. Turn the garment right side out and fold the binding over the edge of the underarm so all the raw edges are encased. Pin the binding in place. You'll also be making the strap in this step, so pin all the binding closed so the raw edges are completely encased. Continue to pin all the way up the strap. With the right side up, sew along the open edge of the binding to completely encase the raw edges and create a strap. When you reach the front point, continue sewing the binding to the garment, stitching close to the folded edge. This will cover the stitching you previously sewed. Continue stitching all the way to the end of the binding. With the garment turned inside out and the back facing up, the side with the 1 inch strap overhang, thread the ring through the 1 inch tail left at the back neckline point. Fold under the raw edge of the strap a 1/4 inch and pin it in place. Sew along the folded edge to hold the ring in place. This is such a small area to sew that sometimes I use my seam ripper or pins to help me push the back strap through my machine. I also go over this a couple of times back and forth to give it some extra security. Once the ring is in place, you'll move on to the front strap. I keep my garment so the back is still facing up and it's still inside out. Thread the strap around the center of the strap adjuster. Next, thread the strap through the ring. Thread the strap back through the center of the strap adjuster. This step takes some patience. Leave a tail of about 1 1/4 inches. Fold the raw edge of the strap under a 1/4 inch and pin it in place to the strap. If the edges are fraying, you may need to trim them down some. Sew the strap in place along the fold. Again, this is such a small area to sew. Make sure to go over this a couple of times to give it extra security. Pull the strap adjuster tight and turn the garment right side out. That is how you sew bias binding into a continuous strap. Happy sewing!